This is the BYD Sealion 7, so stick around for the next couple of minutes and I'm going to talk you around it and tell you exactly what you need to know, and more importantly, whether or not you should buy one. I'm Richard Ingram and this is Auto Express. So, the BYD Sealion 7, not the most adventurous design. It's got a familiar face. You've obviously got that big BYD badge in the middle, those kind of C-shaped headlights and daytime running lights. It's down the side, really, where things come into their own. It's got a coupe SUV profile, and actually, standing about there, you could be forgiven for thinking that this is a Porsche Cayenne Coupe. Thankfully, BYD has ditched the Build Your Dreams badging on the back there, but down here, 4.5S. No, this is not a 4.5 litre V8. It's an electric SUV that will do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds. That's what that references. This thing has 522 brake horsepower. It's a top-spec excellence all-wheel drive. There are 3 specs to choose from, so you can have the comfort car that starts from around £47,000, gets 308 brake horsepower and an 82.5 kilowatt-hour battery. Now you can move up the range through the design all-wheel drive to the excellence all-wheel drive, which is what we've got here. So yeah, as I say, that 522 brake horsepower, a massive 91.3 kilowatt-hour battery, which BYD says is good for around 300 miles of range. It gets a heat pump as standard. We're seeing, well, between 200 and 230, maybe 250 miles of range if you're lucky in warmer weather, so not quite the 300 that it claims, but even so, if you do need to stop, you do need to charge, it'll top up a pretty impressive 230 kilowatts. So a 10 to 80% charge takes 24 minutes. Now, stick with me and we'll have a look inside. Now, if you were impressed by the numbers and the stats and the facts and figures when we were on the outside of the car, you'll definitely be impressed in here. You've got a digital instrument cluster in there. It's a little bit busy, but all of the key info is there where you need it. And you've got a massive 15.6 inch screen in the middle. Now, it's got a bit of a party trick, and if you know BYDs, you'll know what's coming next. Look at this. It rotates by 90 degrees. I'm not quite sure why you'd need to do that, but it does it all the same. Everything is really, really quick to respond. It's perhaps not the most intuitive layout, but it is all there and it is all really quick and really kind of responsive. Elsewhere in the cabin, you've got these wireless charging pads, 50-watt wireless charging, and it's cooled as well, so your phone won't overheat. You've got a few buttons down there, but most of it is admittedly in the screen. This vegan leather apparently covers 80% of the interior. I'm not sure if that's necessarily accurate, but it does feel pretty plush and pretty luxurious. Panoramic roof on this version as well. Overall, pretty decent quality. As you'd expect though, this car costs nearly £60,000. Did you know that you can now sell your car through Auto Express? With years of trusted reviews and expert advice behind us, we know what makes your car valuable. So if you are interested in a BYD Sealion 7, then why not check out what your current car is worth? Click the link in the description for an honest valuation. And things continue to impress. Back here, there is absolutely acres of space. Look how much knee room I've got. That seat is set up for my driving position, but loads of knee room, loads of headroom. There's almost a completely flat floor down here, so that's good as well. Now, these headrests do limit your view out the front, so maybe, perhaps, you might suffer some car sickness, especially if you've got kids back here, but I don't think that's going to be a huge issue just because the whole interior feels really, really spacious. You've got heated seats back here as well on this version, and as I say, because of that flat floor, you're going to be pretty comfortable even in the middle seat. Quality back here still feels pretty good. The only thing I think does feel a little bit cheap is this door handle. It's kind of got a bit of a soft close function to it, and it just feels a little bit cheap, but overall, really, really impressive. Even the boot's a decent size. You've got 528 litres back here. You obviously do have that kind of sloping roofline, which may limit practicality a little bit, but fold down the seats, you've got 1,789 litres, and a frunk in the front, which is 58 litres as well. Not to mention the fact that you can store the cables all under there. I guess the last thing to talk about is what this car is like to drive. Well, it's certainly quick. 522 horsepower is going to have that effect no matter what car you are driving, but it certainly does feel pretty fast off the line. The trouble is, it doesn't really have the chassis to kind of control it or keep up, and the steering and the brakes, well, those aren't particularly well resolved either. So in short, its rivals definitely have the edge in this department. Fast, but not fun. Ultimately, that's the thing. It's got plenty of the right ingredients. This thing is practical, it's certainly fast, it's got plenty of tech, the interior is nicely built as well, but all of those ingredients added up are spoiled by the fact that, well, this is a £60,000 car that doesn't drive as well as its rivals. And, well, that 300-mile range, it's neither here nor there. And actually, in the real world, when you're looking at 220, 230 miles, you potentially want a little bit more for your money. So really, Yeah, plenty of good ingredients, but at this price, you just expect a little bit more.